Hello, my fellow time travelers. Where do you want to go this time? The dancing plague of 1518 in Strasbourg? Splendid choice. Let's set the temporal coordinates. I slam the lever, rush from my studio, and tumble into a sweltering Strasbourg street in July 1518. Bells ring, drums pound. In the square, a woman dances with wild, desperate force. For one blink, it seems festive. Then I see the truth. Her face is twisted with fear. Sweat pours down her neck. Her feet are scraped raw on the stones, yet she cannot stop. This is no celebration. This is the dancing plague. I push through the crowd just as more people begin to jerk and sway. Some cross themselves, some flee. Others stare as if the motion itself might spread. Then a girl seizes my sleeve. "Please," she says, "my sister is out there." "I'm Professor Time. What is your name?" "Elise. They say it's a curse. They say not to touch her." I follow her gaze and find Elise's sister among the dancers, trembling, gasping, still stamping in place with tears on her face. I ask who is in charge. "The council," Elise says. "They keep arguing." So I hurry with her to the council house, where panic has put on a robe and called itself government. Inside, councillors bicker, while a priest warns of punishment from heaven and a physician mutters about overheated blood. A young clerk darts between them with papers, ink, and a face full of dread. That is Matthias. He nearly collides with me. "If you know anything useful," he whispers, "this would be a fine moment." I quickly piece together the pressure crushing this city. Strasbourg has suffered hunger, sickness, and deep religious fear. People are strained to the snapping point. But in 1518, no one speaks of trauma or stress disorders. They must explain the horror with the ideas they have. And the council makes a disastrous choice. If the dancers must dance, they decide, then perhaps they should dance it out. They order musicians, they clear spaces, they even set aside a hall. I stare at Matthias. That will feed the frenzy. It does. Back outside, the music pounds on. Elise and I reach her sister with water and shade, but even when she sags with exhaustion, her legs twitch back into motion. Around us, families whisper that the curse can pass from person to person. Fear races through the square faster than reason. Days blur together. More dancers appear. Some drop from exhaustion and rise again. Others are carried to makeshift infirmaries. Priests lead prayers and processions. Matthias watches the city turn suffering into spectacle, and I can see shame settling on his shoulders. So I investigate. At a granary, I explain one later theory, ergot poisoning. A fungus on rye can cause convulsions and strange sensations. It sounds tempting, but the theory has problems. Ergot usually makes people far sicker in other ways, and this outbreak spread through a community in a strangely social pattern. With a physician, I turn to the theory many historians find stronger: mass psychogenic illness. In plain terms, extreme stress and shared fear can produce real physical symptoms. If people live with hunger, disease, and constant dread of divine punishment, bodies can begin to express terror in shocking ways. Then in the church, another piece clicks into place. Many here believe saints can punish or heal. Some blame Saint Vitus. That belief shapes the response too, from prayers to pilgrimages. So what caused the dancing plague? We cannot say with perfect certainty, but one thing matters deeply. These people were not pretending. Their suffering was real. That helps me face the problem in front of me. I urge Matthias to propose something kinder. Stop the musicians, thin the crowds, move the afflicted into quieter spaces, and offer food, water, shade, and care instead of applause. Matthias gathers his courage and speaks. This time, the council listens. Elise's sister is moved to a calmer chapel infirmary. At last, after dreadful exhaustion, she collapses and stops dancing. Elise grips her hand. Matthias exhales like a man returning from underwater. Not everyone in Strasbourg survives so well, and I will not soften that truth. But compassion proves wiser than spectacle. When the streets finally grow quieter, I take in the city and the mystery it has left behind. In the summer of 1518, in Strasbourg of the Holy Roman Empire, dozens and perhaps hundreds were swept into relentless dancing. Authorities answered with medicine, religion, fear, and costly mistakes. 5 centuries later, historians still debate the exact cause. Before I leave, I thank Elise and Matthias. They remind me that history is not only kings and battles, it is frightened families, exhausted officials, and ordinary people trying to choose mercy during chaos. Then I step back into my machine and return to my studio. I rest a hand on the console and smile at you. The dancing plague teaches me that strange behavior in the past was not always foolishness or evil. Sometimes it was stress, belief, fear, and the body pushed beyond its limits. And that, my fellow time travelers, is why I study history, to meet human mystery with curiosity, not cruelty. Until next time, keep your mind open and your feet firmly under your own control.